What's up, everybody? I'm David Hain. Welcome to episode number 324 of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast. If you enjoy this podcast, please like, subscribe, follow, and share the link with your friends. If you'd like to get our curriculum, you can get the paperback or ebook of From Ashes to Destiny on Amazon. Today's episode, number 324, of the A2D From Addict to Disciple podcast is entitled Matthew Toth on Self-Forgiveness. Matthew is a guy that I met several years ago, close to 8 or 9 years ago now, I guess, at an AA meeting, and he has an extensive background in addiction and a strong spot in recovery in his life right now. And if you want to learn more about Matthew, his surname is spelled Toth. It's on the title of the podcast. And you could look him up on Facebook. And he puts lots of his viewpoints on recovery on Facebook under ODAT with Matt. That's ODAAT with Matt. And that stands for One Day at a Time with Matt. And he's getting a lot of invitations to speak here and there in the community here. And I really appreciate Matt as a friend. And he did a posting on self-forgiveness that I followed up with him on, got his permission to use a lot of his words, his whole outline, so to speak, and then add a little bit to it myself. So when Matt posted on this topic of self-forgiveness, here's what he said. I was having a conversation with someone about self-forgiveness, something I struggled with for a long time. It inspired me to share my self-forgiveness tips with you all. I hope this helps someone. And Matt listed 7 tips on how he got to the point of forgiving himself in recovery so that his shame, guilt, and self-judgment didn't keep taking him out in relapse. Here they are. Number 1, start by acknowledging the truth without judgment. And Matt said, self-forgiveness begins with honesty, not excuses. Say to yourself, this happened. I wish I handled it differently. I can learn from this. So when I ask you, are you still caught up on self-sabotage because you are constantly judging yourself? Because I believe the more we judge ourselves, the more we consciously or subconsciously sabotage ourselves with our lifestyle and our choices. Do you listen to the encouraging views of supporters that you have who see the possibilities in you, but you never apply their words? They sound good. You say, wow, that was a breakthrough moment. That was an aha moment, but then you never apply it. Matt's number 2 is separate who you are from what you did. You made a mistake. You are not the mistake. You took action. You are not the action. Some questions for you on this one. Do you still define yourself by what you did in active addiction? Does this cause you to minimize how far you have come in recovery? Who do you see when you look in the mirror? The old you or the new you, the present you, the new that you hope to become? Number 3, make amends where you can, release what you can't. If you can clean it up, do it, Matt says. If you already did your part in making amends, or the situation is out of your hands, the next step is emotional release. And this can be the hardest part, Matt tells us. So let me ask you, are you beating yourself up because someone won't forgive you? Are you beating yourself up because you know there's no chance of meeting face to face with this person to make amends? Because they're not interested in relational reconciliation with you. Forgiveness does not mean that all is restored. Amends does not mean that everything is restored. It means both you and the person you're making amends with are moving forward. And sometimes that's separately. Number 4, Talk to yourself the way you'd talk to someone you love. And Matt questions things like, if someone you care about made the same mistake, would you shame them forever? You got that? And I think that's a huge one. That's saying to us, are you really shaming yourself forever the way you talk to yourself? Can you talk to yourself like someone you love? Why do you continue to talk to yourself as someone who does not deserve compassion, understanding, and love? Number 5, create a lesson statement. And by this, Matt means, what are you learning from it, so to speak? And he says, write one sentence that captures what you're taking from the experience. So as these things pop up again and again, write down what you can learn from it. Just a sentence. Ask yourself questions like, what has this situation taught you? Do you fully understand and accept the situation? How can you apply it to the new you so that it becomes a lesson in life, a life lesson that you live by going forward? Number 6, practice releasing the story in small moments. Matt says forgiveness rarely happens all at once. It's a series of micro choices. When the memory surfaces, you've got a choice there. When shame kicks in, you've got a choice there. When your mind starts looping, as Matt calls it, I view it like the ball inside the pinball machine. When your mind just starts bouncing around off the bumpers and the flippers and everything. These are all times when you can release what's going on one moment at a time. Can you see how your emotions were numbed to the possible consequences of your actions while you were active in addiction? Can you accept that you're not a nice person in your active addiction? You're self-centered. You've got a lot of things that does kick back memories and shame, and your mind starts looping, as Matt calls it. Can you release just little small amounts each time it comes up? And finally, number 7, Matt says, remember, forgiveness is not saying it was okay. It's saying you won't drag it forward. You're not condoning the behavior. You're choosing not to be chained to it. This is huge. Let me repeat this. Remember, forgiveness is not saying it was okay. So self-forgiveness is not saying it was okay. It's saying you won't drag it forward and you won't let it drag you down. You're not condoning the behavior or the choices you made in your active addiction, but you are choosing not to be chained to it for the rest of your life. My challenge in closing is, can you decide today? Can you decide right now to break free from the ball and chain, the shackles that you placed on yourself? The way to break free is self-forgiveness. Thanks for listening to this episode of the A to D from Addict to Disciple podcast. And a special thanks again to Matthew Toth for all of his input on this and inspiration to do it. I'd like to encourage you, if you would like to talk to somebody, you can reach out on the message link in this podcast. You can look up Matthew on Facebook and see the things that he's posting. You can send me an email at davidfroma2d@gmail.com or go to my website, www.froma2d.org, and click on the contact page. Keep listening to future podcast episodes, and as always, stay safe and stay resilient.